Diplomat or not, I don't know. I only know that he charged himself on my account with a mission, which he terminated so entirely to my satisfaction, that had I been king, I should have instantly created him knight of all my orders, even had I been able to offer him the golden fleece and the garter. Well, since we are not able to sit down to table, said Debray, take a glass of sherry and tell us all about it. You all know that I had the fancy of going to Africa. It is a road your ancestors have traced for you, said Albert gallantly. Yes, but I doubt your object was like theirs, to rescue the Holy Sepulchre. You are quite right, Bouchon, observed the young aristocrat. It was only to fight as an amateur. I cannot bear dueling ever since 2 seconds. Whom I had chosen to arrange an affair forced me to break the arm of one of my best friends, one whom you all know, poor Franz d'Epinay. Ah, true, said Debray. You did fight some time ago. About what? The devil take me if I remember, returned Château-Renaud. But I recollect perfectly one thing, that, being unwilling to let such talents as mine sleep, I wished to try upon the Arabs the new pistol that had been given to me. In consequence, I embarked for Oran, and went from thence to Constantine, where I arrived just in time to witness the raising of the siege. I retreated with the rest for 48 hours. I endured the rain during the day, and the cold during the night tolerably well. But the third morning my horse died of cold. Poor brute, accustomed to being covered up and to have a stove in the stable. The Arabian finds himself unable to bear 10 degrees of cold in Arabia. Oh, man. Folks, already, okay, now I'm not going to bear on this the entire chapter, but without dialogue tags, I'm going to have to go back and forth a lot. Not that you'll hear it, but like there's this line here after Debray says, take a glass of sherry and tell us all about it. There's a line right after that that says, you all know the fancy I had of going to Africa. There's no dialogue tag on that. Easy enough to put into context, since Debray is telling Château-Renaud to tell the story. Okay, Albert responds, it's a road your ancestors have traced from you. The next line, also without a dialogue tag, yes, but I doubt your object was like theirs, to rescue the Holy Sepulchre. No dialogue tag. Who says it? As I'm reading it cold, how do I know? Well, the next line, Château-Renaud does say, you are quite right, Bouchon. So then I have to go back and go, oh, okay, that's who's talking, and then pick the voice that I was doing in order to deliver it correctly for you all. You don't care. Maybe you do. I don't know. I'm not here to prescribe how you feel and think. But Château-Renaud also says that he was going there to fight. And I was trying to make sense of this. I cannot bear dueling ever since 2 seconds whom I had chosen to arrange an affair forced me to break the arm of one of my best friends, whom you all know, poor Franz d'Epinay. So, Château-Renaud and Franz are friends. First mention of Franz we had this chapter in the jump of 3 months of the story. Debray prods this a little bit, saying, that's right, you did fight a little while ago. What did you guys fight about? And Château-Renaud was like, I don't know. Hell, if I can remember. So long ago. But then he gives the reason for going to fight. Not a great one, and I'm not going to go deep into it, as the political nature of these things has changed over time, and also is so much more complex than a simple adventure story makes it out to be. Suffice it to say, he gives the kind of, I would assume, sort of like masculine urge to impress your friends excuse. Like, I know they're not above giving political reasons and their opinions about things, but all he says is he wanted to try out some new pistols. Which, I don't know, what is that saying about Château-Renaud? He's kind of stepped into the scene and just taken over. And let's not forget, since there's no mention, I don't think, barely yesterday, and definitely not today, that the story he's telling is how Maximilian Morel saved his life. So let us make this one a little short since yesterday was long, and continue here tomorrow as we learn a bit more about these men and their exploits and why they're together, about to have breakfast. Ooh, huevos rancheros. That's with a little spiciness to it. Yeah, that's the ticket. That's what I want. So I'm going to see what I'm going to have for breakfast while these men wait for theirs. Until tomorrow. Okay, goodbye. The Countdown of Monte Cristo is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. This show is produced, edited, and hosted by Landon Solano. The original text of The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. Theme song by Magic Solo. If you want to support the show and others like it, visit patreon.com/gruntworkpod. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.